Thank you. Now, I couldn't say this a few years ago, but I can say it today. Figure skating is one of the most watched sports in America, second only to football. Men, women, and children watch hours of figure skating competitions every week on television or at arenas all over the country. And have we got a treat for you? Because touring the country right now are the most popular and talented figure skating champions in the world, and they're here today. First of all, at the ripe old age of 26, he becomes the oldest champion in 70 years when he won the U.S. Men's National Championship, and he won it in his own hometown. From San Jose, California, everyone, here's Rudy Galindo. She's only 18 years old, and already she's become the brightest new star on the American skating scene. She blew everybody away when she won the U.S. Ladies Championship last year. Please welcome everybody, Nicole Bobek. Now they call our next guest the Baryshnikov of ice because of his dramatic and powerful performances. He has won medals in the Olympics, the European, and the World Championships. Please welcome Olympic gold medal winner Viktor Petrenko. Now, our next guest is considered by many to be one of the most gifted skaters in the world. Known for her superb jumps, she's the only woman to execute a backflip landing on one foot. All the way from France, everybody, please welcome Surya of Bonaly. And finally, they're the reigning U.S. pair champions. They are partners both on and off the ice. Their style is enchanting. Please welcome still newlyweds, Jenni Meno and Todd. See, we have our own arena here. See, it's just not on the ice. We've got one here, too. Rudy, let's start with you. I saw your big performance when you won the U.S. National Championships. And probably more, as much as the performance to me, I was just fascinated over the emotion because it happened in your hometown. And it happened after everybody had written you off. So what was it like?
It's just really amazing. I still, to this day, I can't explain my feelings and the emotions going through my mind. It happened so fast. It was like a dream
what were you
come true.
more excited about, that it was your hometown or the fact that no one ever expected you to win the national championship?
I think I was just so excited that everyone had written me off and not expecting to be on the world team and then to come away with the national title and also getting those 6-0s.
Now let me ask you this. I mean, here you are, the national champion. You still live in your mom's neighborhood?
The trailer?
Yeah.
I haven't been home. I've been touring, so I haven't been home to the trailer.
But I mean, that's your home.
Yeah, it is my home. I take care of my mom, and home is where your heart is, and I love it.
Yeah. And what's it been like now? I mean, besides the satisfaction of winning, I mean, what's it gotten you besides this recognition?
A lot of opportunities to travel and compete more and just to go new places and meet new people.
Why do you think you won?
Because I'm good.
There's been a big controversy over judging. Once the judges decide who you are, it's very difficult to elevate yourself to a new level, isn't it?
I think there's always room for improvement. Each year you want to do something different and make sure that your level goes a step further each year.
Well, you had never finished, what, above 4th or 5th in the national championships?
5th was the highest I've ever placed in singles.
Right. And so now all of a sudden this year, I mean, you're a winner. Now, did the judges look at you differently, or were you skating differently?
I was skating differently. I was being consistent in practices, doing clean programs all week long, so that helps because the judges come to the practices. And as long as you're consistent all week long, then it helps with the marks at the end of the competition.
Now I don't know if everybody knows your personal life, but it's been amazing. I mean, first of all, professionally, you started out getting notices as a pair skater.
Correct.
I mean, you were Christy Yamaguchi's partner, right? For years.
Right.
Did she drop you?
Yeah. Yeah, we split up in 1990 so she could pursue.
Well, what's that like when you're together? You've been together so long, and all of a sudden, I mean, is it like me being fired from a station? Is it like my wife divorcing me? I mean, what is it like?
It's more like a wife divorcing you. It was like a marriage on the ice, and you had to go through divorce court. And no, just kidding.
But did you think that you could make it as a single skater?
I thought maybe one day I'd make the world team, but never be national champion. And I was junior world champion in '87, so I thought might as well just go back into singles, see if I could get on that world team.
Right. And you also had as your coach not one of the great names in ice skating. Who'd you pick out?
My sister Laura.
Yeah.
Is my coach. She is free. She's really great for me because no matter how I skate, I know that when I get off the ice, that she's always going to love me no matter what.
Right. Here's something the judges never knew. You have a tattoo, don't you?
Yes.
Oh. And there's a name on the and there's a name on the tattoo.
Yes.
Whose is it?
It's my sister Laura.
Yeah. Your coach.
My coach.
Yeah. You've had to also overcome a lot in your personal life. There have been a lot of sickness in your life and tragedy.
Right.
And how has that impacted on your skating?
It's been pretty good for my skating. Skating is a whole new world for me. I could go out there and forget about all my problems, and also it gives me a little fire in my skating, knowing that what's happened in my life and the tragedies, that I could go out there and skate well.
Right. And I mean, do you think about, how lucky I am versus the other members of my family who unfortunately have died?
Definitely. I always think that I'm lucky, and also I'm sad too at the same time because they're not around me to experience my national title.
Right. Your brother. Your brother died of AIDS.
Right.
Do you think of your brother when you're in the middle of a routine?
Oh, all the time. I always say a prayer and speak with them every day, and especially when I get ready to compete. And I know they're behind me because I always feel that every time I compete now, that it's a lot easier for me. Like they're the wind beneath my wings.
Okay. Rudy Galindo, is he great? He's our reigning U.S. national champion. Now, Nicole Bobek started skating when she was 3. Now at 18, she's our national champion. She's beautiful, she's tough. She says the hardest part about being a champion begins when she steps off the ice. We're going to find out about that and talk to her when we come back right after this. Talking with some of the most talented and popular figure skaters in the world, and they're not competing now in the Olympics or in the championships right now because they're traveling around the country, believe it or not, performing for fun. And we're going to tell you more about that in a bit. Now, our next skater, Nicole Bobek, is one of America's newest ice princesses. Nicole, that was an amazing performance in the ladies' championships, and a lot of people didn't think, that you would do it. How do you feel when you saw those scores?
Well, I trained really hard, and I said, it doesn't matter what I do, I want to go out there and skate the best that I can. And I think everyone was expecting for Michelle Kwan to win, and I said, well, I'm going to do what I can do, and whatever happens, happens. If I feel good about myself, then that's all what matters. Do you think
after you skated and before you saw the scores, did you think you deserved to win?
Yeah.
I love this. See, you see, it's okay. It's okay to have a little attitude. It's all right. It's very interesting because there's a guy in this town who had something to do with you getting started, isn't there? It's a guy named George Steinbrenner who owns the New York Yankees. What did he do for you?
Well, he sponsored me the year before.
Why would he even have known you? He just saw you?
Yeah, he just saw me on TV and thought I was a cute little blonde, and said, I'm going to give her some money, so give me
That's
some
right.
money.
So he just ponied up and wrote a check.
Yeah.
And helped to support you.
Mm-hmm.
And how old were you at that time?
I was 15.
Okay. You started it when you were 3. Well, I didn't even ask, Rudy. When did you start?
8 years old.
Because we have a lot of great young skaters here, and they all, of course, want to compare what they're going through with what you're going through.
Yeah.
You started at 8. How did you start? I mean, San Jose, how do you start in San Jose? I mean, is there a rink or is there a team? Is there
There was a rink in a mall, and my sister started first, and of course I had to follow in her footsteps. And
Because there was a rink at a mall, that's when it started.
Right. That was
for
a thing to do back then, is go with your little outfit and go in little rental skates and do the little wreck scene, you know.
you. All right. And now, Nicole, at 3, do you remember when you started?
I remember I was very athletic. I did a lot of other sports, gymnastics, ballet, swimming. And my mom took me on skates, and she told me that I just did it with no problem, and I skated around, and I never wanted to get off. And I said, well, this is what I'm going to do, so.
Now, let me ask you this. I just said before when we broke, you say the hardest part of all this is getting when you're off the ice? Why?
People look at you on who you are as a person, how you act in front of the general audience, what you do, what you wear, everything like that. It also plays an important part compared to being on the ice.
I mean, do you feel there's too much pressure on you off the ice? Because people are looking at you all the time?
Sometimes. Yeah, it's hard to go to places and, you know, if you're having a good time.
I mean, I've read where you like to have fun off the ice.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just not all work for you.
Well, I'm 18, I'm a teenager, and, you know, for me, it's very important to have a social life as well as my skating. So I like to go out and have fun and do normal stuff that kids do.
And so why do people frown on that when I see that being written about you?
Because I basically don't eat, drink, and sleep skating.
Right.
I have another life.
And you're supposed to, right?
Not necessarily, but if you keep your mind set on what you're doing on the ice.
And
then
of
it's
course,
all right.
there's all this comparisons to you and Tanya Harding. Well, there's no comparison here. I mean, here's how good you are. Do you get angry at the tabloid magazines when they write that kind of stuff?
Not really. I think I'm kind of used to it, I guess you could say. I figure people are going to say what they want to say anyways and believe what they want to believe.
You also like to go through coaches, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
What? I mean, you've had maybe like, I can count them on 2 hands, 8 coaches? And you're only 18? Who's your latest coach?
No one.
No one? You're just going to do it yourself? You sound like a prize fighter who goes through a lot of managers and things like that.
Well, right now I don't have a coach. I'm just working with my mom, and Rudy helps me.
Well, as the Olympics get closer and the next World Championships get closer, will you get a coach?
I think I have to politically. So, you know, we're looking for a good coach, the all-around coach that is there when you lose and when you win.
Right.
And almost like another parent.
Right. Talking about parents, who's this?
That's my mom.
Right.
Don't you forget it.
That's right. Now, a lot has been written about your relationship with your mom.
We're very close.
You've never been separated? I mean, never?
No, she's the only thing I have, and we have a very close relationship, and I tell her everything, and she tells me everything, and we work together.
Right.
I said, if you say it, I take you shopping.
Is that right? Now, I got you. Now, what do you think about her not having a coach right now? That's okay?
It's a good time because we have 3 months on the tour, and so she can decide and kind of look around. And there's many people interested, so it's nice to be on the other side when you're waiting and people coming and approaching you.
Now, what do you think about everything that's been written about your daughter and you in the tabloids and the magazines? And
Well, it's very interesting for me, you know, coming from communist system where we didn't have anything written.
Yeah, right. When because you emigrated from Czechoslovakia.
Exactly, and this is total opposite. And you know, some of it we don't
Sometimes you want to go
agree.
back to the communist system so they won't write about you?
No, you know, some of the stuff has been written. I consider the source where it's written from. So if people read it, that's their problem.
You like your daughter's lifestyle? The fact that she likes to have fun, it's not all skating, there's more to life than this?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Do you get on her? Do you say that maybe, you know, you should focus more on your skating, Nicole, and not your other parts of your life?
Well, I try to separate these things. I have to be mom.
Okay.
And I can, you know, mix everything together. It's very hard.
Okay.
But I try very hard for her to have her life and have her fun, but I still have to be mom.
Okay, Mom. All right. He's a world champion. He's an Olympic gold medal winner. Next, we're going to find out from Ukraine's heartthrob what life has been like in the spotlight. Viktor Petrenko, next, here on the Maury Show. What did you want to ask?
I want to ask if any of the skaters ever got bored when they woke up and didn't want to skate.
Well, now wait a second. How old are you?
I'm 9. 10.
Do you get bored and not want to skate when you wake up?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Okay. How about that, Rudy? Nicole?
Always. There's time. Now that I'm older, I wake up now and I drink my coffee, and then I like to go to the arena. But you always go through phases like that. You don't want to skate, but then you think of your future and how much you like skating, then it motivates you.
Well, when you talk of perfection in skating, I mean, this next guest of ours, I mean, he is the consummate example of it. Viktor Petrenko. He is an Olympic gold medal winner. He's a European champion. He's a world champion. And a lot of people were going to say, well, wait a minute, there can't be a day in his life that he doesn't want to get on skates. True or not, Viktor?
Well, to be honest, I have some days when I don't really want to skate, and I definitely feel like it's not my day for skating.
Has that ever happened in a competition? Or just during practice?
It's only in practice, most of the time.
What's it like for you 30 seconds before you're about to perform in competition, in the Olympics, in the World Championships?
Well, you get really nervous because pressure on. It doesn't matter if it's a big event or it's a small performance. And you get nervous. You try and go through the program or through some elements in your mind and getting ready to perform.
What's your stomach feel like?
Stomach is okay.
Stomach's okay.
But the legs is really shaky. You
The
know.
legs are shaky?
Yeah,
I mean,
hands
you're
are
an
shaky
Olympic
like
gold
that.
medal winner.
It doesn't matter.
You get shaky.
Of course I do.
Isn't that
As
interesting?
everybody else, I guess.
Do you think when you're thinking about your program, and later on we'll talk to all of you about this, is it the most difficult part of the program you're thinking about before you go on or not?
Yes, I'm going through the
So it's the
hardest
most difficult jump you
elements,
got?
jumps.
Isn't that amazing? Did you first love skating or another sport when you were growing up?
Well, when I was young, like 4 or 5 year old, I liked to be on the street and play with my friends soccer. That's my famous sport. But then my parents brought me to the ice rink, and that's how I started skating and get involved in figure skating.
Were you ever surprised? I shouldn't say, of course you were surprised. Did you ever think you didn't skate well enough, even though, let's say, you won one of your big medals?
You know, I was trying my best, and I skated my best for that period of time, for those competition, and judges made a decision.
Mm-hmm. There was a great tragedy suffered by all of you and the entire skating world this year with Sergei Grinkov's passing. You skated on the same team with Sergei, didn't you?
Yes, I did. I knew Sergei since I was 12 years old. We kind of growing up together.
Where were you when you heard this news?
I just arrived from the competition, and I heard that in the morning after the competition, and I flew over to Lake Placid and to help Katya to take care of everything, what she needs.
And what do you think of the outpouring of sentiment since that? I mean, there have been unbelievable tributes to him. All of you probably have participated in some of them. I mean, it says something about you as a community, doesn't it?
Yeah, we stayed together for the last year in Simsbury, Connecticut, because we were practicing together at the International Skating Center out there. And it was a shock for all figure skating family. He passed away, and we didn't believe at first that happened.
Is it because you knew how much of how well and superb an athlete he was that this could happen to him, to have a heart attack like that?
Well, that's what's unusual. He won 2 Olympic gold medals. He was in a good shape. He's a strong young man, and he passed away. That's the...
Nicole, you have memories of Sergei?
I met Sergei and Katya when I was 12 years old doing shows, and they were wonderful people, very much in love, always were in love. And even the last time I saw them was their last show in Skates of Gold. And you would think they just fell in love. That's how strong they were together.
I mean, we're going to talk about their lives in a second, but to talk to Todd and Jenni about this, because I guess you competed against them.
Yeah, we competed with them in the '94 Olympics, and with Nicole, we did their last show with them, Skates of Gold, and they looked wonderful. And Viktor and Sergei were welcoming me to the marriage club, and it was a huge shock for everyone.
I think for Todd and I, we really looked up to them, and they were like the best pair skaters of all time to us. So they were someone that we really watched on and off the ice, and I think it was a great loss.
Right. Now, you know, when we talk about our next guest, we've all heard of backflips, and we hear of cartwheels, and we think of them normally on tumbling mats, but certainly not on ice. I mean, I know how hard ice is. That's why I do not skate. Next, we will meet the 22-year-old who does all of this and more. But first, take a look at this clip from one of our past shows when I spoke with an up-and-coming figure skater. Remember this young lady? When Nancy Kerrigan won a bronze medal at the 1992 Olympics in Albertville, she skated right off the ice and into our studio. Please welcome home our Olympic bronze medalist, Nancy Kerrigan. Now, we watch the programs, I think on both programs, and we say, okay, because we're led into, here come the jumps, and we're going, gosh, I hope they don't miss the jump.
Right.
Now, are you thinking the same thing?
Well, not thinking, I hope I don't miss it, but a little bit more like bend your knees or, you know, telling yourself what to do to not miss it.
Well, she must have done it right, because she went on to win the silver medal just 2 years later.
A promotional fee.
First of all, I want to congratulate all of you. You are beautiful. I watch you every Saturday.
You do? You watch
Yes. And the guardian,
it?
Rudy, when he won, it was so emotional, I cried. I was so happy for you. I was going, bravo, bravo, all by myself.
Well, why do you like the figure skating so much? What is it about?
I just
Because
love it.
apparently, this sport has probably, I guess, increased their fan support more than any other sport in this country.
I just love all of them. They're so beautiful.
Really?
When they're in the eyes, they fly.
They fly.
Like they forget the whole world.
Right.
The only thing is the
I'll tell you who
eyes.
flies.
Yeah.
Our next guest.
Beautiful.
How about this person right here? How about Surya Bonaly? You ever seen her fly? Boy, does she fly. She's an incredible jumper. She's fearless on the ice. This is what I want to ask you. Did you really, in the last Olympics, defy your coach and do a jump so hard that he didn't want you to do it?
Yeah, it was in an Olympic Games in '92 in France, and for this day I say I want to do this, and my coach he said just keep relaxed and you're third after the short swim, I'm sure you can make it, so just be cool and relax. And I say I think I really want to do, and I don't want to get some to regret later, so I say I want to do that.
Now, Surya, I mean, you're fearless out there. I mean, Nicole, do you think that, I mean, is she doing things she shouldn't be doing?
Oh, she's just crazy.
She's crazy? She's just crazy?
No, I admire her. I mean, I would be scared to death, I think, to do a backflip. You know, just the fact that you could take a chance of missing your pick or hitting a bad piece of ice or not making it all the way around.
I mean, do you think about hitting your head on a backflip?
Sometimes it can be difficult, like sometimes I get tired or...
Have you ever hit your head on the ice?
Yeah, once. But to do one difficulty was more difficult, like I wanted to back twist. And so it was the last moment I could do alone, and it was kind of difficult because it can be good or it can be bad. And this one, I just missed my toe and I just fell under it.
This is what I want to talk to you about, because I love to talk to, because Surya is very honest about things. You don't like judges too much, do you?
It's okay, sometimes yes, sometimes no.
Do you think you can tell whether the judges are going, when I say be on your side, judge fairly before you ever skate? If you take a look at them, do you think you know?
You never know.
Oh, we never know exactly.
You never know?
No. Even sometimes.
Do you know individual judges? Do you know the judges?
No. Sometimes we just have to find some new heads, new face. So it's kind of, you don't know.
Do you know who they are? I mean, do you ever go to a, I mean, do you say hello to them? I mean, do they say hello to you? Do you talk to each other?
But sometimes it's just, there's so many, so you don't recognize them all. And sometimes they don't really want to speak to you because they don't like you or something like this. So.
Right. Nicole, so you do, there is interaction.
You meet them like you have a draw before your competition, sometimes just a dinner, and you know them, you know of them, and you don't really have like a deep conversation, but you say hello and you're very polite, and that's it.
Surya, what's it like? I mean, you're from, how long has it been since you've been home?
So, long time. So I just went like 2 weeks in France to do some show, and I spent 1 day home very shortly.
Do you get homesick?
Well, I used to, so now just for, I miss my dad and my dogs only. But otherwise, I like to be in America. And,
Now, is your mother coaching you now?
Yeah.
Is that hard or not?
It's okay. Sometimes it's difficult, but usually it's good, and it's been good
Why
since
is it
a long
difficult?
time.
I always ask these questions.
Why it's difficult?
She's too close because it's your mother?
No, we've always been together since I was small, so it's okay, but sometimes it's difficult, like
right.
Before competition, because everybody gets anxious or nervous, so sometimes it's difficult, but everything has been very good.
Now, do the media try to talk to you all before you go on ice?
Yeah.
They do?
Yeah.
Do you like that?
I hate
You hate it?
Yeah.
Why? Is it distracting? Is that the reason?
Yeah, and especially just before to go on the ice, it's crazy.
What do? They run up to you right before you go on the ice?
Yeah, it's what happened like before European Championships, they came and they say, do you think you're going to do like a Kataravit just like 10 minutes before to go on the ice? So
you don't like it?
Not really.
Now, are you practicing something that we don't know about? I mean, are you practicing something secretly? So in the next World Championships or something, or in the next Olympics, you're going to try to do something that's never been done before?
Maybe it can be. So. I can say my favorite is
By the way, what happens if you try something you don't, that's never been done before? I mean, what's the degree of difficulty there? I mean, how do they judge that if it's never been done?
They don't. No, more points,
no, but I mean,
not really.
Do they take that into account?
Oh, not really.
And if it's never been done, how do they know how are you supposed to execute it if it's never been done?
Practice.
Just practice and keep going every day, and after you're used to.
Now, he asked his skating partner out at the 1992 Olympics. He proposed to his skating partner in the 1994 Olympics. Did she say yes? We'll find out next, right here.
From the video.
Before dated as a couple, Jenni, Meno, and Todd Sand were paired with other partners. So, who made the switch? Did you make the switch, Jenni?
Basically, both of us. We were at the 1992 Olympics, and we had always been friends, trained in the same rink with the same coach. And we decided that we felt like we had the same goals, and we wanted to do the same things in our skating, in our amateur career, and our professional career. And we thought if we skated together, we would be better.
And you were agreeable to this?
Very agreeable, yes.
Well, I guess you were. How long did it... Now, I heard that you asked her out at the 92 Olympics, correct?
Well, I didn't exactly ask her out, but we spent a lot of time together, and
Who was flirting with whom? Let's get to the point here. Let's cut to the chase.
I think we were flirting with each other.
Huh?
We were flirting with each other.
So, this relationship developed, and did you surprise her in 1994?
Yes. Surprised myself. Yeah. We were getting ready to compete the short program at the Olympics in Lillehammer, and it just occurred to me that I was very much in love and that I wanted to spend the rest of my life with Jenni. So it just popped out.
So it pops out before the short program, right?
Yes.
This is the Olympics. I mean, you're representing your country. This is the biggest thing in your life. And so how'd you react, Jenni?
I was a little bit surprised, but I knew my answer, and I knew that I wanted to spend the rest of my life.
And how did the short program go?
Great. We skated the best we could at the Olympics in 1994.
Well, you just got to keep popping questions to her, I guess.
What's going to happen in '98? I don't know.
When you take a look at skating with each other as marrieds versus skating each other as just dating or flirting with each other, is it different? Is it better?
I think it's wonderful. We have so many wonderful experiences together, and when we're out there together, and we know that skating is not the most important thing in our lives. We love skating very much, and it's a big part of our lives, but we're the most important thing, each other, and no matter how we skate out there, we always love each other, and we always have each other.
How often do you change your program?
Well, we work on a variety of programs throughout the year. We usually have new programs for competition every season, and then a couple of show programs.
In order to do well in the next Olympics, are you going to have to do something that you haven't done yet?
Probably.
I mean, do all of you think that? I mean, Viktor, of course, is a professional. The rest of you all are still in Olympic competition. Does that mean you cannot be in the Olympics anymore, right, Viktor?
No, I can't.
You can't. But I mean, do you constantly say to yourself, you know, I got to do something that I haven't done before. I have to get noticed. I have to have those judges notice me. I got to do something. I mean, do you think about that all the time?
I think we're all always working to improve our skating and to develop our skating in a new direction.
Okay.
And I think every day you go in, you want to improve and to do something better.
Right. What did you want to ask?
Well, so
And by the way, how old are you?
9.
And you're a skater.
Yep.
Are you good?
Yep.
Okay. I don't know that. All skaters have to think they got to have the confidence. Sure. What did you want to ask?
Surya, how do you do that amazing backflip?
How? Well, with a lot of practice first, and I used to have experience of gymnast, so I did 12 or 13 years of gymnastics, and I was in French team for 3 years, so I used to have a lot of experience.
Have you ever thought about doing it?
Yep.
Have you ever tried it?
Nope.
Why haven't you tried it?
I'm afraid I'm gonna hit my head.
Yeah, I would be afraid I would hit my head too, believe me. Yes, what did you want to ask?
I have a question for Nicole. What's it like competing against young people like Tara Lipinski? Do you feel that's right?
Well, now, first of all, you have to clue me in. How old is Tara Lipinski?
13.
13.
I feel pretty old out there. Tara came on the tour, actually, the last 3 shows, and she's such a sweetheart, and I love her to death. And, you know, she really looks up to me, and I figure, you know, if I skate well and she skates well, it's the judge's decision.
I mean, but do you look on her and say, this is a kid?
Yeah.
I mean, this is a 13-year-old kid. I'm 18 years old. I'm strutting my stuff.
I was like that, too, when I used to skate at the Broadmoor with Jill Trenery. And, you know, Jill probably thought the same way, like, oh, my God, look at this little girl coming up here, you know? So it's interesting, but I feel pretty old.
Okay. Could the next Olympic gold medalist be sitting right here? It's possible. And also, I want to know from Viktor Petrenko, here's a guy, I'm telling you, women all over the world love this guy. And he's married. What does this mean? We'll find out next. Viktor, how long have you been married?
Almost 4 years.
Does your wife know about this?
Yeah, I told her.
I mean, what is it? I mean, did she get jealous of all these women?
Well, as I know so far, not.
No?
Because actually, she understood this is, the figure skating is my life and a big part of my life, and she understood everything. Sometimes she gave me some suggestion how to really do the tricks with the girls.
Yeah? Do the tricks with the girls, huh?
On the ice.
Good, Viktor. That's really good. What tricks are we talking about?
I mean, during the number, when I'm skating, just...
how to make eye contact?
Something like that.
Okay, Victor, you encourage this another way.
I have a question for all of you. When you guys fall in a competition, do you feel like really upset, or do you just take it fine and keep on skating?
Good question. How about that?
Sometimes.
Have you ever won and fall?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh yeah, it's happened.
It's happened.
It depends also if you fall on your short or your long. And short, you have required elements you have to do. So if you fall on one of them, then you're like, oh, it's over, forget it. But in the long, if you fall, you can skate around and do it again. So, next time.
Oh, next year.
Okay, I have a question for Nicole. How old were you when you landed your first double axel?
2.
9.
And how old are you?
10.
And have you done a double axel?
No.
Are you trying to do a double axel?
No, not yet.
Are you worried because she did it at 9 and you're 10?
No.
No? Don't be worried. You'll do it by the time you're 12, okay? I can tell. Yes.
I want to know for all of you, how many days a week do you skate?
And how often during the day do they skate?
Yeah.
That's important. Because the schedule in terms of practice is grueling, especially when you're working for a competition. I mean, who wants to take a crack at that? I mean, I've heard 3, 4, 5 hours a day.
About 3 hours a day I do.
Now, is that on the ice 3 hours?
3 hours on the ice, and then I do off-ice training, and I go to the gym for an hour and a half, and then I have ballet training for about an hour.
Is that about the same?
We skate probably about 4 hours, and we spend a lot of time in the gym and taking ballet and working on the floor. So.
Who's the best skater you ever saw who didn't practice a lot? Who's that?
Christopher Bowman.
Really?
Yeah.
He's a great skater and he doesn't practice?
He was practicing, but not much.
Not much. Just likes to fool around. Okay, yes.
If you could do anything in the world, would you still do ice skating?
How about that?
Myself, I would be a soccer player.
A soccer player?
Yeah.
So you're still a big soccer fan?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Here's something I don't know anything about, but I'm sure the entire front row knows everything about it. What the hell is a triple sow cow? First of all, what is a sow cow? Who came up with that name?
Mr. Salcow.
It is a man named Sow Cow?
Yeah. Ulrich Salcow.
And what is that all about? I mean, did he first do it, or was he a judge?
He invented it.
He invented it.
Yeah.
Is that your big dream, to have something that would be, that's a triple Surly?
Yeah, I did already have one jump, like the backflip would wear my names.
And that's your name.
Mm-hmm.
So when somebody does it, Dick Button will yell out, that's a Surly, that's a Surly.
We can say it's Bonaly, just Bonaly.
Oh, it's a Bonaly, okay. How many times has he dropped you, Jenny?
He's never dropped me, knock on wood.
Never?
No.
We'll be right back after this. If you would like to join us in the studio audience, then the Maury Povich Show is now on America Online. So, if you would like to contact us or have a great story to tell, you can reach us at mauryshow@aol.com. That's mauryshow@aol.com. We want to hear from you. Now, I know all of you are interested in good causes, and Nicole has a particular one. You're working with children, and I know you have a campaign, and every year it kind of changes. Who are you working with these days?
Well, on tour, which we are on right now, it's the Campbell Soup's World Tour Figure Skating Champions. We do 76 cities in 3 months. I go to schools when we have days off to talk to kids about their goals and their dreams and about what I do. And last year, I did about 3 schools, and this year I've gone to an ice rink and worked with handicapped children on the ice, and it's just great.
That's terrific. That's terrific. Yeah.
This question is for all of these skaters, actually. I just wanted to know which move in their routine is the most difficult to learn.
Okay, fine. Let's go down the line. What's your most difficult your most difficult move, Rudy?
Nothing.
No, Rudy?
Getting through the program.
I know the jumps already.
Depends.
I already know all the jumps.
How about Victor? Right? What would you say? It's the toughest
To
move.
learn to skate.
Right. Surya, the head flip, the back flip.
Backflip, it can be, yeah.
All right.
Or jumps, depends.
Jenni and Todd.
think the most difficult thing for a pair team is trying to create new moves and things that are different.
I want to tell you something. You still have time to see these fabulous athletes perform as they travel around the country with the Campbell Soups 1996 Tour of World Figure Skating Champions. The tour runs through July 14th. So if it's in your city, your area, please go. It will be a moment you will always remember. I want to thank all of you. What? What is that?
Just welcome to the show.
Just welcome. Just go. Have fun. I want to thank you so much for taking time to come today to be with us. And I think you really struck a chord with the American television viewing public, and they love you. And now I see all the arenas are filled when you skate. So I thank you very much. I appreciate you coming. Thank you out there, everyone. Until next time, America. Monday. Little does our audience know, they're about to get the surprise of their lives. The people who love them the most are saying thank you in a very special way. Monday.
A promotional fee has been provided by...
How fast does maximum strength Ambisol start to relieve...